Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Mastering LinkedIn. Today we are gonna discuss about LinkedIn and how you should be using LinkedIn to take the, use properly and achieve your goals. And it can be to find a new job or to promote your personal brand. You're going to discuss about that as well. But LinkedIn is a platform that even before the pandemic, it was already very important here in Canada, not only for job seekers, but for anybody that is currently working, because it's a way also for you to, as I said, to connect with new people, to promote your new brand, and to, of course, to be exposed to new opportunities. In this workshop, we have, I would say, two moments in this workshop. The first moment is the moment that we are going to discuss about some marketing concepts. And if you are familiar with the marketing, then it will be easy for you. If you are not familiar with some marketing concepts, don't worry, we are going to do the basics so you can understand. And of course, if you have any questions, there is a box below on your dashboard that you can write your questions, and we'll do our best to answer your questions. We have also here today helping me Nilufar, that's going to be reading your questions because I'll not have time to be reading the questions and running the workshop. So she's going to be reading the questions for us. But feel free to drop a question in the box below of your dashboard, okay? All right, so let's start our workshop. I believe everybody can see. Nulifar, is everything okay? Can you see my slides just before I start here?
Yes, everything looks okay, and we can see you and we can hear you as well.
All right, great. So, okay, let me just, oops. All right, so let's start. So let's start first for those that are not familiar with Lutherwood. Lutherwood is a not-for-profit based in Waterloo region. We have three divisions. The division that I work for is the employment services, and we help those looking for a job to, secure employment. So in case you are in this situation looking for a job, and you're not still a Lutherwood's client, please reach out to us, and we'll be more than pleased to help you. About me, my name is Carlos Martins. I am Brazilian. I work for Lutherwood since 2016, I believe. I'm responsible for the mentorship program for internationally trained professionals. So I'm part of a program called Newcomer Career Support. So basically, I help newcomers to Canada to establish their career in Canada. Some instructions about this course. As I said, you have first you have to have a LinkedIn account already set up. We are not going to be covering how to open a LinkedIn account. This workshop is basically to instruct you how to get the most out of LinkedIn, which means you already have to have an account. So in case you don't have an account here, you can still watch the presentation, but you're going to be missing a lot, okay? So just a heads up. As I said, use the chat box to ask questions. The link of this presentation will be shared later. I'll send this presentation in case you can't stay till the end of the presentation. In case you're having problems during the presentation, just try to refresh your browser and see if it works. And I recommend to use Google Chrome. Use the options Q&A and raise your hand to ask questions. Also, you have these on your dashboard. Okay, so let's get started. So one of the things in the program that I'm responsible for, as I said, the mentorship program, is I ask this question for all my clients if they have a LinkedIn account. So first thing I ask is like, are you on LinkedIn? And it's interesting that the answers I hear sometimes like, yeah, I have a LinkedIn account, but I don't remember my password. Or yeah, I have a LinkedIn account, but I don't use it. Or I never heard of LinkedIn. It's of course some people they will say, yeah, I'm on LinkedIn, I'm active on LinkedIn and this and that. So these actually shows how people have um, how some people consider LinkedIn in their, let's say, professional lives. Some consider very important, some just ignore because they don't know the importance of LinkedIn. And hopefully during this presentation here, you'll learn more how LinkedIn is important to whoever is there. As again, if you're a job seeker or if you're working somewhere, but even though if you are working, LinkedIn is still relevant for you. And I'll try to demonstrate that during this presentation, okay? All right, so one thing that I read a while ago on LinkedIn, and this is a person that I'm connected with on LinkedIn, this was extremely interesting, and that's why I'm sharing with you, because this summarizes why it's important to have or to be part of a workshop like this. Okay, so this is Peter Hawkins. He is the owner of a logistic company based in Mississauga, okay, here in Ontario. And he helps a lot of newcomers, especially on LinkedIn, sharing tips and things like that. So let's read this, what he wrote a while ago. And again, I found really interested and summarizes the reason why it's important to have these workshop here. But let's go. So he said, today I'm frustrated. 51 candidates have reached out to me, great news, with incomplete LinkedIn profiles, bad news, and no context, also bad news. When your profile is incomplete or worse, riddled with typos, you appear to be inexperienced, lazy, or incompetent. You actually created an obstacle to getting hired. Your profile is your advertisement for you. You could be great candidates, but you are making it difficult to find out. All right. So again, as I said, this posting on LinkedIn, I found this posting amazing, and I'm going to explain why. First of all, as I said, Peter Hawkins is a hiring. He's a hiring manager. He owns a company. Okay. So he's hiring people. He's looking for talented people. And he's saying here that 51 people reach out to him on LinkedIn, which means they had the opportunity to connect with the owner of a company, someone that could be hiring them, okay? But instead, because they had poor LinkedIn profiles, or they were reaching out to him without any context, and we are going to discuss about this in a few. Um, Peter just said, okay, what am I seeing here, right? So you have the opportunity to be connecting with someone with the hiring powers, let's put this way, but you screw up because your LinkedIn profile is not ready to be reaching out to people. So instead of you promoting yourself, as he said here, advertising you, in a good way, you are advertising yourself as lazy, incompetent, inexperienced, or someone that doesn't care about details and things like that. What are you communicating to Peter? Right? So would you hire yourself in the same situation? Of course not. You don't want someone that demonstrates no care about your own profile on LinkedIn. So one thing that I would like to give you a heads up, uh, only start connecting with people on LinkedIn when you feel that you are ready, when you feel that your profile is proper to advertise you or to market you to others on LinkedIn. Because as I said, you might be reaching out to someone that will actually read your profile. And if you don't have everything in place, instead of you be promoting yourself in a positive way, you're actually giving a bad impression to whoever is checking your profile. So that's extremely important, and I would like you to kind of have this on your mind while using LinkedIn, okay? And hopefully during this presentation, you're going to understand why it's so important to have a proper LinkedIn built, okay? There are some people here that I don't know if I can hear you. Asil, can you hear us now or no? I don't know, Nulify, if you were able to Nilufa to solve his problem or her problem. Asil, thou.
Carlos, we can hear you, but I feel like they need to check their volume settings, and I have
Okay.
messaged already, and I think it's on their end, and I have notified that they will be getting a recording if they're not able to
Okay.
hear
Okay,
it.
perfect. All right. Okay, so let's move on. This is our goal for today, okay? To learn how to use LinkedIn as a tool to promote your professional brand effectively. So, as I said, we have two parts of this workshop. One is to discuss about some marketing concepts, because these will be important for you to understand first how this marketing piece will help you on LinkedIn. And then we are going to, of course, learn about LinkedIn, its structure and everything. And we are going to put these pieces together to work. Okay. All right. So let's start first, as I said, to discuss some marketing concepts. And I'd like to discuss these marketing concepts to first using examples of our everyday lives. Okay. So imagine yourself going to a grocery store, okay, Zayres or Loblaws, whatever, Sobeys, and you have your cart and you are shopping, you know, food and other stuff. And let's say that you have to buy cereal, okay? When you go to the cereal shelf, you notice that there are many brands there, okay? Brands, sizes, flavors, so many different flavors and styles, different packages, as I said, different brands. But you're gonna only pick one brand. And what caught your attention when you are picking up a brand, a specific package to put in your cart? There are many things for us that will affect this decision, okay? So, for example, the packaging of that product can caught your attention. You know, it's a beautiful, it's a well made, I don't know, it's colorful. Anyways, also the price, if you're looking for something cheap or if you're looking for something with quality. Sometimes people have this impression that if it's more expensive, it means that it's better, right? Of course, reviews. You are checking reviews of people online today more than ever. If you're buying something on Amazon, for example, you're checking people's reviews of that product that you're about to buy. And those reviews might play a very important role during your process of deciding which product you are taking. Okay, the ingredients of a product, of course, there are some people that are lactose intolerant and all those things, people that don't want to have sugar in, you know, in a specific product, and things like that. Of course, you want to compare the options that you have and see which one would be the best. So sometimes we have in our heads that some products, they are similar. So let's say, I don't know, BMW and Mercedes, for example, and then you want to check which one will provide you the best benefit, which one is, let's say, filling your needs, okay? And of course, the brand. The brand sometimes you don't even need to know if that product has quality or not, because if it's a product made by a specific brand, it will tell you, or you have that impression that the product has quality. So for example, it's a product made by Apple. So you think in your head that that product is it's a product with the quality. Or if it's made by another brand that you don't like the brand because you think that brand only, I don't know, doesn't perform really well. So once you see that brand offering a specific product, you think that product is not good. Okay, that's the impression you have. So this is the concept that we have when we're describing a product. Okay, these are items that we are always be like checking: packaging, pricing, reviews, ingredients, or the components of the product. Because I say ingredients, you can translate these to components as well, because if you're buying a car, for example, you want to see the quality of of the parts of the car and things like that. Competition and brand. Okay, this is what makes a product. Now, what this has to do with us as job seekers. Well, if you're a job seeker, of course you are marketing yourself to employers, right? You are sending out your resume, you're going for interviews, you're trying to secure a job or a career for you in Canada, right? Does this does this have anything to do with you as a job seeker? Of course it has. Like you can consider yourself as a product. You are promoting yourself to the job market, and you are expecting that the job market will pick you instead of the competition. So that's our challenge here, right? Like how can I stand out from the competition in a way that the employers can hire me? Okay, can we translate all these requirements that I just listed: packaging, price, reviews, ingredients, competition, and brand, to ourselves as job seekers? Yes, we can, and I'm going to show you right now. What would be the packaging of someone that is looking for a job? Well, in this case, you yourself. Is the way you dress. So if you're going for an interview, the way you dress is gonna cause an impression to whoever is interviewing you. Okay. Of course, if you're on LinkedIn, the way you are dressed, or the picture, your profile picture on LinkedIn, is gonna also give an impression to people that are checking your profile on LinkedIn. Okay, so this is what we call packaging. What is the price? In this case, the price is the salary. We know that if you go for an interview, one of the things that interviewers are gonna ask, or some of them will ask, is what salary do you have in mind if you get hired, or if you wanna be hired for by that company. So they will ask that tricky question that we are sometimes really scared to put, a high number, because then they will drop you. Or if you put a too low number, and then they'll say, yeah, sure, this number is fine, but they would be available or able to pay you more if you asked, right? But anyways, so salary is something also that will impact your product. Okay, reviews are references. So for example, if you go to an interview and you are considered for the job, the employer is going to request you references. On LinkedIn, for example, there is a session that are called recommendations, I believe. I don't remember. We are going to see that, but it's basically a session where people can write about you. Okay, so for example, a supervisor, someone that used to be your supervisor, can go there and share his or her thoughts about your performance as an employee. or a colleague that used to work with you, or a client. So anybody can go there and provide a testimonial. That's what it is, a testimonial about your job, about your performance as an employee, and so on and so forth. And this is very important. Ingredients or components, as I said, these are the skills, okay, the skills that you have. So for example, let's say you're an engineer and you know a specific software, let's say AutoCAD, Revit, or if you're an accountant and you know how to use QuickBooks, or you know how to navigate the CRA website or whatever. These are all skills that you learn, and you can provide to the employer that is hiring you. And you're, of course, you're listing all those skills in your resume and also on your LinkedIn profile. Okay. Competition. Competition in this case are the other candidates that are applying for the same position. I remember a while ago, I had a client that she went to the interview, she applied for a job, and she later said to me that the person from the HR told her, "Wow, you are lucky to be here because we had 700 resumes coming in." So imagine 700 people applying for a job and you getting through this wall and going to the interview. That's amazing. How can you do that? And that's the thing. You have to be offering exactly what people are looking for. Okay, this is very important. However, it's also important for you to compare yourself to the competition. And LinkedIn can provide you that. You can check people's profile online on LinkedIn and see, let's say, again, you are an accountant and there is someone working for BDO, for example, and you want to see what that person has in terms of skills and experience, and compare to yourself to see if you're competitive. Okay, so if you're applying for BDO, would you be similar to those people working for BDO? That's also an interesting thing to do. Okay, and the brand, in this case, it's our personal brand or our professional brand. And this, guys, is what we call perception. Is the perception people have about us. So is the impression. Okay, so for example, I don't know if you ever had this feeling when someone that you're meeting for the first time, and we kind of do that automatic thing in our heads, judging that person by the outfit of that person, the way that person express her himself, the things that that person is saying. So you start to build an impression about that individual. If that person is trustworthy, if that person is, someone kind, someone nice to hang out, whatever. This is something that we often do. I don't know if you ever had this experience to go to a store, for example, and have a bad experience because the person that was assisting you, I don't know, buying a pair of shoes, for example, was rude at you or something. So that's the perception that you're building about not only the person but also about the company that you are buying the product. It's the experience that you're having while using their services that is building that perception. And the same thing happens to ourselves when we are applying for a job. Okay, and I just want to take a moment here to make a comment, because I see often people that are new to Canada where they go for an event, for example, or they reach out to someone on LinkedIn, and the first thing they ask is, "Can you get me a job? Can you find me a job?" And you are not offering anything. So things don't work this way. When people hire you, they don't hire you because they are doing a favor for you. They hire you because they see that you can bring benefits to the company and help them to make more money. That's basically what it is. And if you come and say, "Can you find me a job? Can you get me a job?" You're not offering anything. So that's not the appropriate approach. The appropriate approach is to build your own brand in a way that people will perceive you as someone that could be or could add value to the company. Okay, and how can we do that? Well, we can do that in many ways, and one of the ways is using LinkedIn in a proper way. Okay, so hopefully you guys are getting the pieces of the marketing that I'm discussing here. Try to memorize all these concepts that I'm sharing with you right now, to we kind of transfer all these concepts to LinkedIn. Okay, so I was talking about branding, and branding, I would say, is the main thing on LinkedIn. Okay, for someone using LinkedIn, what you want is to have people perceive you as someone that knows a lot about your field. Okay, so if you are a hydrogeologist, for example, you want to be perceived by the others that are connected to you on LinkedIn as an expert in your field, someone that knows about that specific field, and you are discussing these things with other people that are also experts in the same field on LinkedIn. That's how people are gonna, notice you, and maybe in the future invite you for a conference to be a panelist, or even to offer you a job. That's basically how things work. Okay, so let me give you a concept of what branding is. Okay, so branding is all of the ways you establish an image of your company in your customers' eyes. Okay, so for example, you have Apple, you have Sony, you have Nike, and when I mention all these brands in your head, you are probably imagining, okay, when I say Apple, you think about iPhones, iPads, all those things, but you're also thinking about design, you're thinking about quality products and all those things. That is the impression that Apple's is passed to you, okay, as a consumer, okay, or a customer. Same thing for Nike and so on and so forth, okay? And this can be positive or negative. When we talk about branding, branding can be something positive or negative, because this is the impression we have about a company, for example. So I might mention a company that for you it's equals bad service, for example, and this is the branding they built for you. That's the impression that you have about that company. Can we translate this concept to ourselves as job seekers? Yes, we can. And I did this for us here, so we can have a more accurate concept. So branding is all of the ways you establish a perception of yourself in the eyes of hiring managers. Okay, so hopefully you are connecting the dots now. All that concept that we did about we just discussed about product, now the concept about marketing, about branding, sorry, about perception, and how to build this perception in a way that will cause a good impression in hiring managers. Now, if we go back to that comment of Peter Hawkins, okay, this is something interesting. I don't know, let me go real quick here because that's extremely important. So Peter Hawkins is here sharing his perception about some people reaching out to him without a proper LinkedIn profile or without providing any context. This is the branding they are building for Peter Hawkins, which means Peter is not hiring any of these guys because they just gave a bad impression. And if you're lazy to fix your profile on LinkedIn, the profile that you're reaching out to people, to apply for a job or to ask for advice, how can you see this person working for you? And here is another concept or another comment that I got, and I'll never forget. One of our events, I think 2 years ago, one of our mentors she was one of the panelists of the event, and she's a hiring manager for CIBC. Okay, and she said, when I'm hiring someone, the first thing I do is I try to picture that person working for me. Okay, so she compared that situation to another situation where you're gonna rent a house or buy a house. You picture yourself living there, right? So you can imagine like your dining table here, your couch there, you're having fun with your kids or barbecuing here or whatever. So you picture yourself um, living in that place. And she said, that's the way I do when I'm hiring someone. I picture that person talking to a client, working with other people here in the branch or whatever, in the office. And if I have a good impression, if I have a good perception about that person, I might consider that person, to be part of our team. So when it comes to LinkedIn, this is something that I want you to have in your minds. Okay, you are building your brand to other people that are visiting your LinkedIn profile, because you'll be exposing yourself. And while you are exposing yourself, you want to do that in the proper way. Okay, hopefully everything is going well so far. Some examples of branding. Okay, so we have McDonald's, we have Sony, and of course you don't only brand or build brands for companies. You can build also your personal brand. So for example, when I speak about Steve Jobs, I'm sure everybody here that knows Steve Jobs has a perception about Steve Jobs, right? And that's why some people love to see Steve Jobs talking, about marketing, about being innovative and things like that, because they consider, or they used to consider Steve Jobs, a name for these subjects, right? Marketing, innovation, creativity, all these things. So think about yourself. What's your brand? What's your personal brand? How would you like to see managers perceiving your brand? Okay, when you go for an interview, how do you how can you translate those years of experience that you have, or that expertise during that interview? So these are strategies that you have to think about in order to build your personal brand. So it's from the email that you're writing to the manager, to the way you dress, to the salary that you're gonna be informing them that you have as a goal. All those things will build a perception of whoever is talking to you and consider you for a specific position. Okay. All right, so now is the last step of all the marketing concepts that we are using here before we jump to LinkedIn. And this is it's a very important concept that we have to have, even to understand why we are not getting a job. Okay, so this is what we call marketing mix, or mix marketing, or 4Ps, or there are so many names for this, but basically this concept mentions 2Ps, okay, that are product, price, place, and promotion. Okay, so bear with me while I'm explaining each of these concepts for you. What's the product here? The product is whatever you're selling to a market. Okay, so for example, I can be selling a cell phone. Okay, so this cell phone is, of course, has some benefits, as I don't know, touch screen, as sound system in it. There is of course, a system, can be iOS, can be, I don't know, Android, whatever. So all the specifications, okay, of this product, it's part of the product. And then there is the price. Okay, so let's say this product here costs $400 if you want to buy. Okay, so this is the cost that you're going to have purchasing this product, the price. Price also stands for not only for the price itself, but all the costs that you have when you are buying a product. So for example, and this is a very important concept to know, because I'm going to explain why in a few. But for example, let's say you are going out with your wife or your girlfriend or boyfriend in the Valentine's Day, during the Valentine's Day. So you go to a sushi, and there is a lineup that you have to wait for 30 minutes. And then in your head, you're debating, should we wait or should we go? And this is a cost for you. It's not only the price that you're gonna pay for the sushi, okay, for the all you can eat or whatever, but also the cost of waiting for 30 minutes. So everything is a cost. And I'm going to translate this in a way that isn't going to impact ourselves as job seeker, okay? I'm going to tell in a few. What's place? Place is has to do with the distribution of the product, or the place that the product is being displayed or available for you to purchase, okay? So for example, if you wanna buy a TV, you can buy online, you can drive to a store and buy the same product. So this is the way the product is going to you, or the product, of course, or you are going to the product. This is the place, the physical place, okay? And promotion is how we learn about the products, right? So for example, you are online, you are on YouTube, and then you see an advertisement about that specific product, that cell phone, for example, talking about the benefits of having that product, and so on and so forth, or a specific restaurant, okay? So this is a promotion, things that we see and we learn about the product. Can be online, can be, you know, driving your car and seeing a billboard on the back of a bus, the newspaper, on the radio. So we are exposed all the time, and all those brands are telling us to buy them or to learn about them. So this is promotion, okay? Can we translate this to ourselves as job seekers? Yes, we can, okay? So product, we already mentioned. Product is all those items that we were explaining early on. It's your reviews, it's the way you dress, it's your skills, it's your experience. All those things is part of your product, okay? What you are offering to the job market. What is the price? The price is not only the salary that you're gonna ask, but also all the barriers, all the costs that the employer is gonna have if they decide to hire you. Okay, so for example, okay, there is the salary is fine, but there is a problem. You don't know the software they use. So they have to invest some time, maybe some money on you in order to get you ready to work. So it's gonna take a month, for example, till you're ready, until you learn how to use the software. Okay, so that can be a cost. Or you know, if you need to learn a specific um, trade or a specific way to work, not only a software, but also the procedures of a company. And that is a cost. That's why people are looking for 3 years, 5 years of experience, because they don't have time. They don't want to train people for that position, because that's a cost for them, okay? And of course, this is going to impact if you're applying for a job, if you have experience and if you don't have experience. So there is the competition there, of course, and then you'll be in trouble. What's the place? The place are is the geographic areas that you're considering or that you are open to work. So for example, you are based in Guelph, you're based in Kitchener, but you're open to work in Toronto, you're open to work in Mississauga, in London, I don't know. Or you only want to stick to your region, Guelph, Kitchener, Waterloo, whatever. So this is also another item that we have to pay attention in ourselves. What are the places that we would consider to work? And promotion. Promotion is how we promote ourselves to the job market. And one basic way to do that, of course, is using our resumes. Okay? So our resumes are a way to promote ourselves to the job market. And if you don't have a proper resume built, we are going to be on that situation that Peter Hawkins described. You are promoting yourself in the wrong way. Okay? And of course, LinkedIn will be here on promotion because the LinkedIn is a way to be exposing yourself, to expose your brand to potential hiring managers or to other people from your field, to put your brand out there. Okay, so it's a way to promote yourself to other people. Now, the marketing mix, in order to be successful, to a product to be successful, these 4 P's have to be working. Your product needs to be the right product, the price needs to be right, the place have to be the right places, and the promotion have to be on point, communicating all the benefits and everything about that product. Think about it. You can have the best product, okay, the market could have. The price is on point, the product's available everywhere, but nobody knows about the product. What we're failing here? Promotion. Doesn't matter if the other 3 P's are working if one of the P's is not working. The same thing for price, for example. You can have a nice product, place also working well, promotion, everybody knows about your product, but people are not buying your product because they just can't find a reasonable argument, let's put this way, or not a reasonable argument, but the reasons or the right reasons to pay for that price that you are asking and the benefits that your product is offering. There is no reason for that, okay? The same thing here, you can translate to yourself as a job seeker. So for example, for those that are complaining about, oh, I can't find a job in Canada, you probably are failing in one of these P's here. Your product might be not a good fit for the Canadian market. So you have to kind of build yourself to the Canadian market. Okay. So for example, it's a skill that you have to have, or it's an experience, or it's a software that you have to have, or an education that you have to have, a credential. So you have to find out what's going on out there in your field, so you can be, comparable to what is being offered in that field. I remember a client back in the day. He was an electrical engineer, and he was trying to find a job here, but he didn't know how to work with AutoCAD because he used to work doing everything manually. And all the companies here in Canada, they use AutoCAD or other, software to do the designs, to do the drawings. They don't use they don't do things by hand. So which means he can be, applying for jobs as much as he wants. He's not going to find a job because he doesn't have that requirement. You're failing in your product, okay? Same thing for price, the salary, okay? Place. If you, for example, apply for a job in Toronto, but you're living Kitchener, people are gonna say, I don't know, you are too far to be working here. But you can say, no, I'll be moving if I get the job, okay? And promotion. As I said, you can be promoting yourself out there. Like sometimes people don't promote them, or sometimes people are promoting them in the wrong way. As I said, you can have your resume built in a way that's not proper. You can have your LinkedIn built in a way that instead of give a positive perception about your experience and everything is giving a bad impression, a bad perception. Okay, so you're failing on promotion. So every time when you apply for a job, if you're in a job seeking mode, think about these 4 P's as someone looking for a job. Okay, if you're not landing a job, you are probably failing in one of these P's here: product, price, place, or promotion. Okay, do we have any questions so far, or is everything okay?
No questions so far, Carlos.
No questions so far. Okay, so let's move on. All right. So for those that are not familiar with LinkedIn, I want to explain why it's important to be on LinkedIn first before we jump into LinkedIn, okay? So why LinkedIn? Some reasons that we have to consider to be on LinkedIn. In 2009, LinkedIn had 37 million people in the platform. In 2021, it jumped to 722 million people, which is a lot. It was sold to Microsoft for $26.2 billion in 2016. So I believe that some Microsoft paying 26 billion for a platform, it means that it works. Another thing about LinkedIn is that I like to say is to hunt and to be hunted. And what I mean by that, to hunt is for you to hunt for a job, right? There are tools on LinkedIn that you can use to find a job in your field. Also, you can see what people, because people often they are sharing positions. I'm looking for designer, this and that. If you know of someone, please share this position. You can see very often on LinkedIn this happening. The other thing also is to be hunted, and to be hunted, what I mean by that is that when you're on LinkedIn, you're exposing yourself to other people. So they might reach out to you and ask if you're available. Okay. So recently, for example, I was approached by Sun Life, someone from Sun Life offering me to be a consultant, whatever. I said no, because I have my job, and also this is the type of job that I'm not looking for. I had other people reaching out to me back in the day, offering a position, not offering, but inviting me to review a position, and if I was interested to inform them so they could schedule an interview. Okay, so they found me on LinkedIn using one thing that you're going to discuss here that's very important: keywords. Okay, we're going to explore more about keywords in a few. To manage and grow our professional network. So if before the pandemic, LinkedIn was already relevant, now it's more than ever, because it's a way for you to keep growing your professional network, even though you are not meeting with people in person. And the other thing also about LinkedIn, especially here in Canada, is that in order to connect with someone, you don't need necessarily to know that person in person. Okay, what you have to connect with someone on LinkedIn is something that the person will benefit of being connected with you. Okay, so the person will see, oh, okay, you are from accounting, I'm from accounting. Okay, makes sense for us to connect. Okay. The other thing also is that LinkedIn is not like other platforms, social platforms such as Instagram, such as Facebook, and things like that. People stick to professional things on LinkedIn. Okay, so LinkedIn is not a place for you to be connect with friends, for example. Of course, you can connect with friends, but that connection is important for you, not because that person is a friend only, but because of the professional network that that person is going to provide to you. Okay. To spy on others. Remember that I said that LinkedIn is a good way for you to compare yourself to the competition. That's what I mean about to spy on others. So for example, if you are on LinkedIn there is the opportunity for you to check other people that are working in your field here in Canada, and you can check their experience, the softwares they know, the skills they have, and compare to yourself. Okay, and with that comparison, what we want to know is like, okay, am I on the same level of these people, or do I need more training? Do I need to go back to college? Do I need to get a specific credential? Okay, so these are the things that we want to learn here when I say spy on others. Okay, to establish your personal branding. And again, what I mean about personal branding is the perception that you build while people are interacting or visiting your profile on LinkedIn, for example. Okay, so another thing to keep in mind is that your personal branding can be positive or can be negative. Okay, what you have to do is try everything you can to build the perception that you want to those that are visiting your profile. Because many times, for example, because you have an incomplete profile, or you don't have a picture in your profile, or there are typos and things like that, uh, although you're trying to promote yourself in a positive way, people are going to perceive you as incompetent, lazy, and all those things. This is the brand you are building. Okay, so you have to be very careful with that. And just to give you an idea, 17 million people are using or are registered in Canada on LinkedIn. This is a number from 2020. These guys means 40.9% of the Canadian population is on LinkedIn. And if you think about the number of children and elderly people that are not in the workforce, 45, almost 46%, it's a huge number. Okay, it's a huge number. So you must be on LinkedIn. All right, so let's play smart on LinkedIn. And to play smart on LinkedIn, to use LinkedIn properly, we have to understand 4 concepts. Okay, and these are the concepts: to stay active, to be relevant, to connect, and to know how to use keywords. So let's first talk about keywords. Uh, I'm assuming everybody here knows what keywords mean. But basically, keywords, of course, are the words that you are using in your profile. Okay. For example, if you're on Google searching for something, let's say that you have a dog and you are searching for a specific dog food, whatever, to understand which one is the best for your dog. So you put there on Google reviews, dog food, whatever, or in Kitchener or in Guelph, whatever, and then you put there. Google is gonna use those keywords to find the proper content for you that will, answer your questions. The same thing works, or the same way works in LinkedIn, on LinkedIn, okay? If you don't have the keywords on your profile, keywords that are being used by hiring managers looking for people on LinkedIn, or HR people looking for talent on LinkedIn, you're going to be left behind, okay? Now, how can we use, or how can we find the correct keywords to use in our profile? Well, you just go to Indeed and search for those positions that you are interested in, and check the keywords that are being used there. So I'll give you an example. Let's say that back in your country, your profession had a specific name, okay? And you translate that name here in Canada. Of course, whatever language you are using there, you are translating to English, and you are putting that as your title, okay? but you're not hearing back. You're applying for jobs, nobody's reaching out to you on LinkedIn, and you don't know why. Well, the reason is nobody calls that profession that specific name that you're using. The name in Canada is another day, and you have to figure out which name is that. How can you do that? You can go to Indeed and check how people are advertising those type of jobs, okay? So not only the job titles, but all the requirements that they are asking. If you have those requirements, put on LinkedIn, okay? Because if they are posting that on the job posting, they might be using the same keywords to find people on LinkedIn. Okay, so hopefully that's clear for you. Another thing also is that you must populate your LinkedIn with these important keywords. And there are many sessions on LinkedIn. We are going to see that in a few that you can use for this purpose, to populate with the keywords, okay? And I'm going to show you in a few. So keywords is one thing that is very important on LinkedIn. So when people search for someone, let's say civil engineer, AutoCAD, Guelph. So if you have these keywords in your profile and you're a civil engineer that knows AutoCAD and you're in Guelph, you are going to probably be one of the first to be on the list of this person that's doing the search, okay? And that's our goal, using in a smart way the keywords. The other way to promote yourself on LinkedIn or to take advantage of LinkedIn is, of course, connecting with people, okay? And here is why. First, when you connect to someone, automatically that person, the first thing that person is going to do is check your profile, okay? So if the person is checking your profile, the person might also consider you for an interview. We never know. Listen, we are trying to build opportunities here, okay? We are trying to expose ourselves to opportunities. And I'm going to give you an example of someone that attended this workshop a while ago. She did everything that we are discussing here, and she was connecting. There was one day that someone that connected to her saw her profile and said, this is exactly what type of person we are looking for. So this person reached out to the job seeker in this case and said, hey, I just read your profile and sounds like you have everything we're looking for. Would you like to come for an interview? And then she went for the interview and got the job. Just connecting. I'm not saying that you'll be connecting and then you are going to find a job. What I'm saying here is that while you're connecting, you're creating opportunities. And that's why it's very important for you that before connecting, you have to have a proper built uh, LinkedIn profile. Okay, this is extremely important. The other thing about connecting to other people is that when you connect to someone, you're going to have access to that person's connections as well, okay? So that's how LinkedIn works. If you do a search on LinkedIn, let's say for people that work in a specific company, okay? Let's say you are looking for people that work for, I don't know, Coca-Cola. Okay, you want to work for Coca-Cola and you want to connect to people to Coca-Cola, you do a search and you are going to see that there are some names that will not show for you. It will appear only like LinkedIn member. Why? Because don't have a level of connection. We are going to discuss about level of connection later on, but you don't have anybody that connects to that person. So you don't have access to the information of that person. So that's why it's important also to be connecting to other people, okay? And of course, if you have a connection to someone that works for a company that you're interested to work for, you can reach out to that person and say, hey, would you have time to discuss about your company. I'm very interested in working there. You're not asking for a job, okay? You're not asking for a job. You're just asking to learn about that institution, organization, whatever it is, and learn about the hiring process, what type of people they are looking for. I don't know, you name it. You put there the questions that you want to see answered, okay? So you can reach out to people and ask those questions, okay? So that's the value of connecting. Be relevant. So here is another thing very important on LinkedIn, to be relevant. And what I mean by being relevant is this. When you connect to someone, there is something on LinkedIn called the news feed, okay? It's the same as Facebook. So if you're familiar with Facebook, you know that there is that thing in the middle of Facebook that's all the updates of people that you are connected on Facebook, right? And you're going to see those uh, postings from people that you're connected with on LinkedIn or on Facebook. The same thing happens on LinkedIn, okay? So if you're connected to, I don't know, 500 people, you are going to see the postings of those people, okay, on your feed, on your news feed. And the same thing applies for yourself. When you post something, people will see your postings on LinkedIn. Not only your postings, but also your likes, your comments. All the people that are connected to you, they are gonna see those comments, postings, and likes, okay? So going back to be relevant, what I'm saying here about being relevant is that on LinkedIn, you have to be sharing things that people from your field would consider important, would consider valuable, would consider relevant. Why? Because if you keep posting, if you keep making relevant comments on LinkedIn, people will start to notice you, okay, as an expert in your field, someone that really knows about, I don't know, let's say here we have Tassauer. Tassauer is from health and safety, and he can be sharing on LinkedIn about best practices on health and safety, or the last new thing on health and safety, or ISO 9000, I don't know, something that people from his field would consider, whoa, that's a really interesting approach, that this guy is having here. Or this is an interesting comment. Okay, so these things that you post on LinkedIn will help you to build your brand. So if you wanted to be perceived, if you wanted to give this impression that you are an expert in your field, that's how you build your presence. Hell, that's how you build your brand on LinkedIn, okay? So being relevant. So please avoid everything that has nothing to do with your professional field, uh, or avoid things about politics, about religion, and things like that, because unless these these things have any connection to what you do, try to avoid any friction, any uh, negative debate on LinkedIn, because again, you are being exposed. People are seeing what you're writing on LinkedIn. Okay, so if you have extreme views, or or if the person is racist and things like that, and boom, the person sharing these things there, oh yeah, they are gonna see, even the HR is gonna see those postings. So be very careful when posting on LinkedIn, okay? So this is one thing that I about being relevant. And the other thing, also the last thing that you have to have in mind while working on LinkedIn, while using LinkedIn, is to stay active. So I think this is one of the biggest mistakes people have on LinkedIn. They think LinkedIn is a directory of resumes. So basically what they do is they build a profile and they leave it there waiting something to happen. It's not going to happen this way. You have to be active on LinkedIn. You have to share, you have to like, you have to comment. That's how you are active on LinkedIn, okay? And also LinkedIn is a way for you to keep up to date. If you're following other people, if you're connected to people from your field, these people are going to be sharing opportunities, sharing articles, sharing a bunch of stuff that you have access, and it'll be beneficial for you because this is a way for you to keep up to date. Okay, so stay active. If you are not active, people will not remember that you exist. Okay, so you have to be exposing yourself, of course, in a good way, promoting yourself in a way that people notice you. Okay, so stay active. So these are the 4 things if you want to be successful on LinkedIn. Use the right keywords, stay active, be relevant, and also connect. Okay, with these 4 combinations here, you are going to be successful. I can guarantee to you, you're going to be successful on LinkedIn. All right, now we are gonna jump on LinkedIn. I'm gonna open here a LinkedIn so we can have a view of LinkedIn, and I'm gonna share, of course, some details about how you should build your LinkedIn profile. Okay, so first off, let me show you here the structure of LinkedIn. On the left hand, you're gonna see your profile with a summary of your profile, with your name, with your job title, or with your expertise, who viewed your profile, how view your posts and things like that. Then in the middle, you have your news feed. As I was explaining, here's where you're going to see all people's, updates. You're going to see here people that you're connected with. On the right side, another very interesting thing is the LinkedIn news. So you can be up to date and see what's going on, what people are discussing, because these are topics that people are discussing, people are debating about, and it's trending on LinkedIn, okay? Then you have the job, not the job, but the search bar on the top left. You have the navigation bar with the home, my network, jobs, message, notifications in your profile, your configurations. And now let's work. Let's open our LinkedIn account. And if you can open your LinkedIn account while we have this presentation, that would be nice. So we can see things happening. Nilufar, can you see my profile here on LinkedIn?
Yes,
Or no?
yes,
Is it
we can
showing?
see it.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we can see it, but it's a little bit blurry though, and very
Oh, is it
small.
blurry?
A
Really?
little bit blurry. Yeah.
Oh boy. Okay, let me
Yes.
see if I can. It's still blurry? It's still blurry?
It's still the same. It's visible, but I find it a little bit blurry. But I think we can work it out. I
Yeah.
think we can work with that. Yeah, it's
Okay.
visible.
So if anybody's having problems, like, because this is just to give you an idea, okay, about the structure. But if it's like impossible to see, please let me know, okay? All right, so let's go to LinkedIn. So when I open my LinkedIn, okay, this is the view I have, okay? This is a summary of my profile. These are the trending news on LinkedIn in this side. Can you see my mouse going here, Nilufar?
Yes, we can see it. Yeah.
Okay, great. So the LinkedIn news. Here in the middle, as I said, we have our, thank you, Tassauer, for the feedback. So here we have the news feed. So if I scroll down, I'm gonna see everybody, that I'm connected with, people that are sharing, some updates. So I just wanna
share with you something. Just to give you an example, okay? So I'm connected with Susan Chilton, okay? So Susan works for, I think, Conestoga College. She's an instructor for Conestoga College, and she's sharing opportunities here, you see, for her grads or for her students. So marketing communication specialist is sharing an opportunity here. So if you're connected to Susan, you're gonna see this on your news feed. Okay, so let's go down and see more things here. So you have news, okay? Someone sharing about a new building that's being built in Kitchener. What else? Let me see here. Lutherwood is hiring. Is hiring a child and youth counselor. So if you are following Lutherwood, you're gonna have these on your news feed. So here are two things about the people that you're following. Okay, um, one thing is one thing is follow people, not only people, but also follow the organizations that you're interested in working for and work for. Because if you are following those companies that you are interested on LinkedIn, you are going to be exposed to this type of information. Okay, job opportunities, not only job opportunities, but also updates about that company. And why is important to know about the updates of the company? Because if you, in case you get an interview in that company, you know what the company is doing. Okay, so you can even share that you can mention during the interview and say, oh yeah, I recently saw that you guys have a new project in Kitchener. You guys are building a new I don't know, a new structure there using XYZ technology. That is very interesting. I have the experience working with that technology, so I was very excited to see it. So people see, whoa, this is the guy, that we're looking for. So be smart, be smart. That's what I'm telling you here. Be smart. Use the tools that you have in the proper way. That's how you're gonna find the job you want. Okay. All right. So we show here the 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 news feed. Now let me show you here the search bar. So the search bar, you're going to put some, keywords. So let's say I'm looking for a marketing position. So I'll put here marketing specialist, and I'll put Guelph. Let's say that I want to work in Guelph as a marketing specialist. So when I put this on the search bar, you see that LinkedIn is going to provide you some options. Are you looking for people that work with marketing? Are you looking for jobs? Are you looking for posts related, groups, companies, school events? What are you looking for? So you can filter here. So let's say I'm looking for jobs. So I put it here, there you go, marketing strategy specialist. There is a position here in Guelph, okay? There is another one here, digital marketing client service specialist in Guelph as well, another in Guelph, marketing coordinator, another in Guelph, okay? So these are things that you can be using to job search. But you also, as I said, you can, instead of looking for a job, you can look for people to connect with, okay? So let's see what we can find when we're trying to find for people. So I have here Jennifer. She's a fundraising and marketing coordinator at Guelph Wish Fund for Children. There is Smashta, that she's a social media marketing. So you can send invitations to these people to connect with you if you think they are relevant to be in your network, okay? So this is a way that you can use LinkedIn. Not only that, but you also, let's say that you are a marketing social media manager, and you want to compare yourself to other people. So I can come here to Samantha, okay, and check her profile and see her experience, see her education, and compare to myself. I don't know Samantha, Okay, but if I was hiring someone that's a social media specialist, I wouldn't hire her because her profile lacks a lot of information. So for someone that's a social media specialist, you're lacking information on your LinkedIn profile. So here you should be demonstrate that you're an expert because this is your job, right? So you have to have a good LinkedIn profile. It's like me. I'm working training people to have a good LinkedIn profile. So I have to have a good LinkedIn profile. Otherwise, people say, well, your LinkedIn profile is not good. Why are you teaching us, right? So it doesn't make sense. But anyway, so you can come here and check people's profile and compare your education, their experience and everything to yourself and see if it would work for you or not. Okay, like if you are in the same level, or if you need something, if you need training, if you need a credential, if you need to learn a software, as I said already before. Okay, any questions so far? I don't think so. Hopefully everything is clear and nobody is having is struggling to understand what I'm saying here. All right, let's move on. Okay, so let's just show quickly here the navigation bar. So here is my network. So as you can see, I have 2,465 people in my network. So I can come here, click on my network, and then I can see all the people that I'm connected with. Of course, I can also search for names, search for something that I'm looking for. So let's say I'm looking for a colleague here, Cindy Winka, that works with me. There you go, Cindy. I found Cindy here. Okay, so you can find for someone that is in your connections. So, but I also can look for the company. Okay, let's see here. Oh no, no, I can't. Let me see. Luther, did I? No, apparently it's just the name of the person. Oh, recently added. No, I don't want to see recently added. Yeah, you can only find the people's person, the person's name actually, not by, because what I was trying to do, if I could find, if I could put the name of the company, if I couldn't find here. Let me see if there are more options. Yeah, you can come here and try to look for the company. There you go. So you just go to the advanced search and then you have more filters. Okay, so this is to find people that are already connected to your network. Okay, jobs. Here are the jobs that based on your search, LinkedIn is gonna be filtering for you. Okay, but also you can put the skills or whatever you want here and the location and put a search, and LinkedIn is going to also provide to you. Here are the messages that your people are, talking to you, and here are the notifications that you get. Okay, people, updates about other people. Sometimes people get another job. People are sharing a story. So, for example, these are people liking a post that I just made this morning. This is my desk. Okay, before we started this session, LinkedIn session. So I posted here, ready to start another Master LinkedIn workshop, just to make content on LinkedIn, just to people remember, that I exist, okay? Just to be noticed, okay? So, for example, if there is someone out there that wanna hire me to provide a LinkedIn training, then you see that I have a lot of material talking about LinkedIn, okay? If that's my goal, okay? All right, so this is an overview of your the things that you can do on LinkedIn. Now let's go to our profile, okay? So I'm gonna open here someone's profile, okay, just to show you, and then I'll go to my profile because that will be the view that you're gonna have when you open your profile, okay? So I just opened a random person here that's connected to me, Rose. So Rose is a director of Conestoga Entrepreneurship Collective. Here is a summary of Rose's experience, okay? It's here on the about. We are going to discuss about this about the about in a few. Here are all the activities that Rose is having on LinkedIn. Posts, share, things that she shared, the things that she commented, things that she liked. So you can see everything here. Here also you can find the Rose's experience, okay? And her education, uh, interests, everything is here, okay? So how can we build a proper profile in a way that we are going to get noticed? Or, excuse me, if I'm reaching to someone, the person that I'm reaching to will consider to talk to me or accept my invitation to connect, okay? So let's go to our profile. So view profile. And here is my profile, and you can open your profile on your computer. So you can, while we are discussing this here, you can, check on your own profile how you would do in your profile, okay? All right, so um, here is what you're gonna find. This is my cover. This is my picture. So these are the images that if you visit my profile, you're gonna find. Why did I post this picture here? Because this picture here is about learning, okay? Learning is something that never ends. So you have someone, a kid with a computer, uh, that knows a lot about computer and stuff, that is teaching his grandma, for example, but also he's learning because his grandma is, I don't know, 70 years old, 80 years old, and has a lot of experience to share with her grandson. So it's a two-way street, right? So that's how mentoring works. And I'm responsible for the mentorship program, and that's how mentoring works. It's not only the mentor teaching or guiding the mentee, but the mentor also learns from the mentee, okay? Because the mentee has a lot of experience as well, okay? So that's how I create my cover here. Actually, what I want to do later on is just put a small text in a way that people will understand what this image means to me, right? So people will see and they kind of might not understand. So I want to give a kind of a direction so people can understand exactly what I mean. Okay, so here I have my name, as you can see, and there is a new feature on LinkedIn that you can pronounce your name. Okay, so sometimes people have, a name in another language that is very difficult to pronounce in English, for example. So here is a way for you to record your name be pronounced so people can pronounce your name correctly or try to pronounce your name correctly, okay? So that's a feature that you have. If I'm not wrong, in order to do that, you have to do using your LinkedIn app, okay? At least that was the way before. I don't know if you are able now to do on the browser as well, but I recorded mine on the LinkedIn app. So you record and then and it's there available. You just press and it's gonna do the pronunciation, okay? All right, so here, let me open this. So if you wanna add a cover to your page, and I strongly recommend that you do it because it gives a good aspect to remember that you are building a perception, okay? We are building your brand. So if you wanna pick something to put on your cover, pick something that's related to your field, okay? So people will go to your profile and they will see that, I don't know, you're an accountant and there is, I don't know, a calculator, some numbers, whatever there. So it means that you're an accountant, okay? That's your brand. So if you want to do that, you just press on the pencil, and then you can upload an image here, and then you can position, you can put some filters, you can zoom. Um, uh, if you know, you can filter, you can do some adjustments, whatever you want. You can crop, okay? So this you can do here. All the other parts related to this area, we are gonna add it here, okay? So for example, this is my name. This is where I record my audio that's recorded. If I wanna delete, I can delete here. There is this new feature here that you can put the pronouns that you wanna be called. This is something that you can do as well. And the headline, and please pay attention on this because this is one of the most important things on LinkedIn. And why? Because when you are doing a research or a search, or someone is doing a search, that's how you are going to be seen, okay? It's your name and your headline. As I can see here with the Scott Menzies. Scott Menzies, Associate Director, Global Logistics. Ming Lee, Global Supply Chain Organizational Project Management. So it's either your expertise, what you do, or the company you work for, okay? So you're going to find here. This is a snapshot, quick snapshot about you, what you do, okay? So for example, if you find me online, this is what you're gonna see, is my picture, my name, and saying that I help newcomers to establish their careers in Canada. I don't need to put my position at Lutherwood. I'm just putting what I do in general. That's what I do. Okay, that's my expertise nowadays. Okay, so let's say if you are an accountant, you can put that you are an accountant with 10 years of experience working for the largest corporations in Canada, whatever. You can put that, okay? If you work doing the job I mentioned, Tassauer, for example, he works with health and safety. He can mention something related to that. So remember that this is also an opportunity for you to populate your profile with the right keyword, okay? Are these the keywords people are using to find you? If so, use it, okay? All right, let's go back to the pencil here. So this is my headline, as I said. This is my current position. So the current position actually is gonna be uh, my profile is taken from this area here, the experience area, okay, and completing here. So I have to pick what is my experience, which one I'm doing right now, to be more up to date, more accurate, okay? So this is my current position. So show current company in my intro. You can select that or unselect that. Education. So if you have multiple education, you can put it here, and then you can select if you want to show the education or not. Country and region. I'm in Canada. This is my postal code. Actually, now it's a little bit different. It's into R0J6. 0J6, so it's Kitchener. And this is the industry I work for. And I'm saying that I'm marketing and advertising because that's my background. Yeah, my education background is marketing and advertising, okay? If you have anything that you want to share more, you can put in contact info. So for example, Twitter, your phone number, your website, or a profile that maybe a portfolio that you have, you can share it here, okay? So everything that you're sharing here is gonna appear in this area, okay? That's basically a summary, like a quick snapshot about you, your education, your name, your expertise, okay? Now, remember that we mentioned about this section of LinkedIn. And here is a way that I like to structure this about section, okay? If you remember, we were showing another profile, Rose's profile, and the way that she had her profile or her about was a block of text, okay? probably telling about her story and how she started and everything. The way I like to have this about is in bullet points, okay? It's like a resume. Remember, a resume, you have the summary of qualifications. That's basically what it is, okay? It's the summary of your qualifications. So if someone wants to know about me, they can come to the about and they will have a snapshot about my experience, okay? The reason why I have these in bullet points is because it's easier to read. So the way I'm doing here is, if someone is visiting my profile, they will open this about, this summary, and they will read it. It will be easier to read if it's just instead of a block of text. Okay? I don't know if you got the idea, but that's what it is. But if you want to do a block of text, it's totally up to you. Okay? It's not a wrong or right. I just find more appropriate, easier to read if you have in bullet points, okay? Like you have on your resume. I want to call the attention for you for three things on the about, okay? First of all, the about is a great opportunity for you to fill this section here with important keywords, okay? So this is a section that you have to use to populate with important keywords from your field, okay? So if you're an accountant, you are going to mention that you know QuickBooks here, that you know Excel, that you know whatever software is available in your field. If you know it, put it here, okay? Another thing that I recommend you to put is, if you speak more than one language, put it here in the about. As you can see, I have here that I'm bilingual. I speak English and I also speak Brazilian Portuguese. And why I'm doing that, especially if you know that down below there is a section that I also mentioned the languages, English and Portuguese. So why I'm doing that again up? Because of the keywords. If someone is looking for some, if an HR person is looking for someone that speaks Portuguese, in Kitchener, for example, my name will be up there because Portuguese is appearing twice. It's appearing twice that I speak Portuguese, okay? I'm populating my profile with the keywords, all right? And the other thing, just to cover, anything that might happen in the future while you're on LinkedIn, is just to put this note: opinions are my own, which means that whatever you're saying on LinkedIn doesn't reflect the opinion of the organization you work for. It's your opinion, okay? Because if you get into a debate where people, might not like your tone of voice or whatever what you're saying, they might report you to your company, okay? And you can get into trouble. So I recommend you to put opinions are my own, okay? So it's not related to your company. So it's just for accountability purposes, okay? So here are all my activities. These I can't edit. These are just things that I'm posting on LinkedIn, that I'm sharing, that I'm liking, that I'm commenting. It will appear here in my activities, okay? Then there is another session that's called experience. And the experience section, you can add a new experience. So you just go here and start a new experience if you have. So for example, let's say that I started to work for to Coca-Cola. So I can put here I'll put here that I'm a marketing specialist, okay? And employment type is full-time, permanent. And the name of the company is Coca-Cola. Oops, Coca-Cola. So Coca-Cola company, and let's say that I'm working Kitchener, Ontario. This is my currently role, and I started working now in June 2021. I quit Lutherwood and I'm working for Coca-Cola, okay? So you see that LinkedIn is going to give you some options, right? You have two other current positions. Would you like to end? So you put here end position, update your industry if that's the case, update your headline, marketing specialist at Coca-Cola Company. So LinkedIn is going to do a bunch of updates on your profile, okay? The description, before we go to the description, since I have this open, I just want to share another thing here. Is this thing at the bottom, okay? Share with your network. So if you have this on, means that when you save, everybody in your network is gonna get a notification that you have a new position now, you have a new job, okay? So if you are updating your LinkedIn profile because it's outdated, there is nothing new in your life. You're just fixing your LinkedIn profile because it's outdated. Leave it off so the people not get notifications, because every time that you put something there, they are gonna get a notification that something new happened to you. Okay, so leave it off. Once you get a new job, then put it on and save, and everybody is going to get that notification. I consider that is very important for you to update everybody that is your network that you got a new position, because new opportunities can come up for you because of this new position. Okay. All right, so description. This is a description of your new job, okay, or the job. If you are editing past jobs, no problem. This is the description of those past jobs. And how this description works, let me show you. This is how it's going to be shown on your LinkedIn profile, okay? So here is my the company I work for. This is my job title. This is the type of employment that I have is full-time. This is the time that I'm in this position with Lutherwood. This is the location. This is a summary about my program, and these are my duties, okay? A note here, two notes, okay? The first note, as you can see, I have my duties in bullet points. Why? Again, because it's easier to read. Same thing as in your resume. In bullet points, whoever is checking my profile will be easier to read. Another thing also about the bullet points is that shows that you are an organized person. Okay, you want to cause a good impression. Okay, so it's easier to read. It shows that it in a way more organized, your ideas that you want to share with whoever is visiting your profile. And the other thing also that I was going to mention is that many people that come to me to become, part of the mentorship program, or that are clients of Lutherwood, they ask me to check their LinkedIn profile, and it's incredible how they put their job title, the company they used to work, but they don't use this area to put the description of the job that they used to have, or the job that they currently have. And why this is a huge mistake? For two reasons. First, if someone is browsing your profile, okay, and they read, for example, in my case, employment specialist and community outreach mentorship, and there is nothing here explaining about what I do, the person will be wondering, okay, what this guy really does, okay? And does this person could be a good fit for our company? Because I'm here checking to see if he could be a good fit for our company. I can tell because there is nothing here. There is just the job title, but there is no description about the job that he or she performs, okay? So you have to have the description of your job duties, okay? The other thing that is very important here about the job description is because it's again an opportunity for you to populate your profile with keywords. Okay? So for example, here I'm saying that I organized this master in LinkedIn. I have the newcomer career conference. So these keywords are gonna appear throughout my, my profile. Other things also that I have here on my about, for example, is uh, that I'm a social media enthusiast and I know how to use YouTube, Instagram, or create content for this platform. If you check my profile, you see that these I mention more often, I mention often these things in my profile. So if someone is browsing on LinkedIn looking for someone that knows about YouTube, this and that, marketing, whatever, they might find my profile on their search because I have those keywords here. Okay? Is that clear so far? Can you please make a comment on your chat box, please, just to see if everything is going well, if you have any questions so far? Anybody? Is everybody sleeping? Okay, Tasawa said that everything's
Yes.
going well. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, so let's go down, and now I have education. So you're gonna put your education here. Of course, one thing that it's optional, okay? So for example, if you go here, you can put your grade, okay, that you finish. You can put your activities, you can put the descriptions, you can upload media. Uh, I don't put that because usually whoever is browsing my profile, what matters is just my education and that's it, okay? Unless you're applying for jobs to work as a instructor or professor, so maybe it could be important for you um, to have those details, okay? So here are licenses and certifications that you might have. So I would say to the license and certifications to just put things that are well known across the board, okay? So across Canada in this case. So for example, you got a certification from AutoCAD, okay? So you are proficient in AutoCAD. So you have this designation, you can put it here, license certifications. But let's say you are doing just a quick training about best practices in HR. You are an HR person, best practice in HR. And it's not a big deal. It's just to update your knowledge and stuff. So instead of putting license and certifications, you go here to accomplishments and you put courses. Okay, so you put, you know, trends on marketing or whatever. Okay, so you go there and put as a course. But if you're getting a license, if you're getting a certification that is important for your industry, I suggest that you put it here on license and certifications, okay? Volunteer experiences, if you have any, you can put here. Now a very common questions about volunteering. Should I put the volunteering experience in volunteer experience, or should I put volunteer experience in experience? What should I do? Well, to answer your question, if the volunteering experience is in your field, you can put as an experience, okay? But then, let me see here if I can put co-op, contra casual, co freelance, apprenticeship. They don't have the option to put as a volunteering. But what I would suggest, let's say you are a marketing guy, okay, or you're an accountant. I saw that there are many accountants that signed for this course. So let's put that you're a bookkeeper, bookkeeper. Oops, sorry, bookkeeper, but you are in a volunteering position. So you put here, volunteer. Okay, so that's how it's going to show on your experience. It's important for you. It's a volunteer experience, but it's in your field. So go here and put in experience. But let's say you are, I don't know, helping to prepare meals for homeless people, okay? But there is nothing to do, although it's a very nice thing that you are doing, but has nothing to do with your professional field, a field of expertise. So instead of put experience, you put volunteering. Okay, volunteer experience. That's what I would recommend. Okay. Another section that we have here on LinkedIn is these skills and endorsements. And in case you're not seeing these sections in your LinkedIn profile, the way you do to add those sections in your LinkedIn profile is going to here, add section. It's going to appear and give you a lot of options for you, okay, uh, to add to your LinkedIn profile. Okay, so in case you don't have the skills and endorsements, you go here, add sections, and add the skills and endorsements. Okay. So here is skills, okay? You can put here this field. Another very important field of LinkedIn is skills. Why? Because again, keywords, okay? So we can be populating. So I'm gonna put here Brazilian Portuguese. Let me see, Portuguese. You already have, so I already have this skill there. So let's say that I speak German. I speak German. I don't have this. I can add to my set of skills, okay? So why we do that? Because if someone again is browsing using keywords, again the keywords is going to appear here on your skills and this session is skills, okay? So that's why it's important for you to have. And as you can see here, there are people endorsing my skills. So for example, I have this colleague here that used to work with me back in Brazil that endorsed me for international business, okay? So this is something that people also can do, okay? Another section that you have on your LinkedIn, or that you can have on your LinkedIn, is recommendations. These here, guys, works as references, okay? So these are people that used to work with me in some level. They can be, they could be my supervisor, they could be just my colleague or a client. They can come here and write something about me, okay? So as you can see, these are things that people wrote about me, okay? And these are things that I wrote about other people, okay? I wrote it here. You might be searching, I can't find this section in my LinkedIn profile, and there is no section to add for my LinkedIn profile to have recommendations. Well, first, to have this section in your LinkedIn profile, you have to have a recommendation. If you don't have, it's not going to show in your profile. So what you do in order to have this recommendation in your profile is you ask for a recommendation or you write a recommendation to someone, okay? So you go here, ask a recommendation, and then I put here recommendation. I'm gonna to ask to, I don't know, let's put Cindy again. Cindy. Okay, so Cindy is, she works with me. So work with you, but in different groups. No, work with you, different companies, same group. So you worked with me in the same group. Great. The position at the time is in what I do now. And then here is me asking Cindy to write us a recommendation to me. So LinkedIn already has a standard message. Okay, Cindy, could you write a recommendation? But you can personalize here and write whatever you want. Okay, sometimes what people do is like, oh, write something and then I copy and paste and just put there. You can do that as well. So you're saying Cindy is going to write a recommendation to me. It's not going to LinkedIn right away. I have to read and then approve to appear on my LinkedIn profile, and then it will be there to anybody that's visiting my profile, okay? So that's recommendations. This is a good thing to have because, again, if you are building your brand using LinkedIn, people are going to be reading this, and this is just another layer that you are adding to your profile where people will see, okay, this person looks a good person to have in our company because there are a lot of people here recommending him or her, okay? And finally, this section here about accomplishments. So as I said, this area here, you can add the courses that you have done, quick courses and things like that, that are not that relevant. So here you can add other things that you want, okay? Test scores, projects, courses, and everything. These are honors, things that you mentioned or award that you have received, the language that you speak. A note here in the language, okay? In case English is not your first language, because you see that when you put the language, you can put the proficiency. What I recommend is like you either speak the language or not, okay? If you speak the language, even if you do some grammar mistakes, for example, I'm speaking here and I'm doing a lot of grammar mistakes because English is not my first language, okay? I don't put the proficiency. Why? Because if someone is reaching out to me, that person that is offering me an interview, she or he is gonna, they are gonna be the people that are gonna, you know, define if my English is enough for the job or not. Okay, so why I'm saying that? Because sometimes people come here and put professional working proficiency. Well, what is that, right? Like what that means that the person doesn't speak English well, but you know, here and there I can improvise, you know. So I can interpret in different ways this professional working proficiency. So what I suggest is that you just leave it blank and leave just English and whatever language you speak. Another thing, let's say that you speak German. And then I ask you, do you know how to do a call in German with a client? No. Do you know how to write an email to a client? No. What do you know? Oh, I know how to say beer. I know how to say I'm hungry. I know how to say good night in German. Well, this is not enough to work using that language, so it's useless. So please don't add a language that you can't use in your workplace. It's a waste of time and you're misleading whoever is checking your profile saying that you speak that language when the reality is you don't know, okay? And here are my interests, companies that I'm following or people that I'm following. So in order to have these interests appear in your profile, you just go here, okay? So let's say Coca-Cola again, Coca-Cola company. And let's say I want to follow Coca-Cola. So I go here and I add follow. Okay, I press here follow on Coca-Cola. Okay, so that's a way you have to do, you can do in order to find or to follow the companies that you want to work for. All right, so I have Rafael here asking, right, my profile, okay, 2 questions. So Nilofa, I'm taking these questions here, okay? I see
Yes,
people.
yes, for sure.
So how about the occupational training experience? What is the good way to put it on LinkedIn? The occupational training experience. I don't know if you're telling about, for example, if you are taking your credentials as an accountant, for example, you have a kind of an internship. If that's what you're asking, you can put as an experience. Okay, it's a profession. Everything that's related to your professional background, you put as an experience. The only thing that I would point is on the description of your position, you just put in parentheses, that is an internship or is a volunteer position. Just put a note so people know that you're not working for that company in the capacity of a full-time employee. That's it, okay? But if it's something related to your field, please go ahead and add to your experience. Another question is, was to become a premium member? That's a good question. Okay, let's go here to the premium. So I'm a premium member of LinkedIn. The reason why I'm premium is because LinkedIn is my main platform for my job. So I find mentors using LinkedIn. Okay, I use LinkedIn to find mentors for my program. So it's extremely important LinkedIn for me. What I suggest for you. So here are some strategies. We are finished with the LinkedIn piece, the structure. I don't know if you have any questions about the LinkedIn profile. If you have any questions, please let me know now, because we are going to the last part of the presentation. But in the meantime, I'm going to explain here to Winnie about the membership, the LinkedIn membership. The LinkedIn membership is very expensive, okay? So for example, the one I have right now, I pay $65 per month. So what I would suggest for you is, first, what are the advantages of having the LinkedIn premium? First, you have unlimited access to the profiles of people, okay? So what I mean by that is that if I'm looking for someone, let's say marketing specialist, okay? Again, I'm looking for people that work as a marketing specialist. What's gonna happen is, for the free version of LinkedIn, if you are doing a lot of search, okay, you are gonna see that I think you can do up to 10 searches, I believe, for free, okay? So you're gonna have a list of people, okay, a complete list of people. But once you reach the limit of search for the free version, what's gonna happen is you're gonna see only the 3 first names, and all the other names are gonna appear blurry, okay? You don't have access unless you have the premium account, okay? So this can be a barrier for you if you are building your network, especially now. You prepare your LinkedIn profile, and then you start to connect with people. How are you going to reach out to people if you don't have access, right? Because you're using the free account. So here's a tip that actually I got from someone that was taking this LinkedIn training. You can sign up for the LinkedIn trial. They have a trial. You can try LinkedIn for a month without paying the LinkedIn premium. You have to have a credit card, okay? You are gonna add your credit card. They are not gonna charge you, okay? But if you don't cancel, the next month they are going to charge, because they charge you for right at the beginning of your subscription, okay? When you subscribe, they charge you. So what you have to do is, first, you have to prepare your profile up accordingly, properly, okay? Once you have everything read, beautiful to go, you go and sign for the trial and start connecting. Boom, 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 boom. You have a month to connect, okay? And using the premium account. When it's about to expire your premium account, you go there and cancel. Just cancel, and they are not gonna charge you. Okay, so that's the tip. It's a very good tip, actually. Another challenge for you is, in order to have a good LinkedIn profile, is that you have to have, and this is a challenge I'm going to give you, you have to have at least 500 connections, okay? Because when you go to people's profile, this is what's going to show, you see, 429 connections. But When you have 500 connections, it appears like this, 500 plus, okay? So that's a challenge for you. Try to reach the 500. And again, the benefit of connecting with people is that you'll be connecting, and they might check your profile, and you might be, who a person that they're looking for. We never know. You're exposing yourself out there, okay? But only do that once you feel that your profile is ready to go. To not be in that situation that we mentioned at the beginning of the workshop, that Peter Hawkins was saying, you are promoting yourself in the wrong way. We don't want that to happen, okay? So please. All right, so we have William here asking something. As an
Yeah.
international student, I had a brief on-campus part-time experience that is not related to my career. Should I omit it, or can I add Canadian experience? Okay, that's a good question. If this is a volunteer position and it doesn't, you're trying to build experience in Canada, uh, it's not related to your field, but could be considered a professional experience, go there, go ahead and put as a professional experience. And then, of course, put a note saying that was a co-op or whatever, not a problem. It's not related to your field, but you need, as an international student or someone coming to Canada as a newcomer, you have to have Canadian experience. So that's an opportunity for you to have some Canadian experience, even though it's not in your field. What you can do down the road is, once you get a job in your field, you can go there and delete that brief experience that you had, because it's irrelevant now. You have a job in your field. You don't need to have that, 2 months co-op, whatever, that's not related to your field. Okay. Okay, guys, let's move on here, because there are many important things that we need to cover still. There was something else. Oh, another thing that I want to point out to you is this. Look, when you go to your profile, okay, there are two things here that I want to show you. First is, you can edit what people can see in your profile. So the edit public profile and URL. So let's click here and show you here real quick what they can show, what they can see. So this is how people will see me, okay, if they are not connected to me. This is my profile. This is what they can see if they are not connected to me. Look, as an example, I left here that they can't see my picture. This is an option, okay? Um, as you can see here, your profile's public visibility. This is on and off, okay? So this is, if you can put on and off, and this is what people can see. The basic, name, number, connections, and region. So this is what people can read here about the snapshot about my experience. You see that I didn't put the photo, but I could put, look, I put the photo, and it's gonna appear. Let's see here. Let me do an update. Didn't appear. I have to publish first. Let me see. Oh, only first degree connections can be my picture. But let me see that everybody can see everything. All LinkedIn members can see everything. Let me see here what's gonna happen. Let me see if it's gonna appear now. It's not showing. I don't know why, but oh, because maybe this is the public. Let me see. Oh, there you go. So public means that everybody, even if they are not if they are not on LinkedIn, if they find you on Google, they can see everything in your profile, okay? But what I want to do is only for LinkedIn members. Only LinkedIn members can see my profile picture or my complete profile, okay? So I can go here and select background picture, headline, websites, whatever. I can put on and off everything here, okay? The other thing is, and this is important, I consider important, you can edit the URL of your profile. So for example, if you want to add your URL in your resume, it's good to have this in a short version, okay? So you can go here And the URL is always linkedin.com/in/whatever you put. Okay, can be your initials, can be two names, whatever you want, you can put here. Okay, so that's a good thing because you can copy here. Okay, and then you can send to someone, and someone will go there, use the link, and boom, it's gonna appear your page right there on LinkedIn. Okay, that URL. Any more questions so far? We now are leaving LinkedIn, these details about LinkedIn using the platform, and we are going to still talk about LinkedIn, but I'm going back to our slides. Okay, Nilofar, can you see the slide?
Yes, I can see the slide, and we don't have any more questions.
Okay, great. So let me just drink some water here.
Yep.
All right. There is something very interesting on LinkedIn, and you have to know that is about the degree of connection. Let's go back on LinkedIn, and I'm going to show you what is this degree connection, okay? All right. As you can see here, this person here, Jessica, okay, she is up here with this number here, number 1, first, okay? Let's do another search. Joe is up here also as first. Now, this person here calling is appearing as second. What the heck is that, right? Second, first, third. What that means on LinkedIn, okay? All right. So basically, LinkedIn values the connections that you have with people, okay? So I'll put as an example here Nilufar that is here with us, and I'll put Cindy that I'm using as an example all the time. So let's say that I'm connected with Nilufar. So when I go to LinkedIn and I see Nilufar's profile, Nilufar is going to appear as first level degree. Why? Because I'm connected to her, okay? Directly. What's the benefit, let's put this way, of being connected in the first level degree? It's because you can message that person. You can message that person that you have a first degree connection. The only way to message a person directly is not the only way, but the two ways that you have to message a person is either you are connected to that person directly in a first degree level, or if you have a premium account. If you have a premium account, you have, I don't know, 15 free messages that you can send to people that are not connected to you. Okay? So let's say you want to really talk to that person is not accepting your connection. So you can write a message and send what they call email, email. So that's how they call the message for the premium account. Okay, so the first degree connection. So let's say Cindy is not connected to me, but she's connected to Nilufar. So for me, Cindy is a second degree connection because although I'm not connected to her, which would be a first degree connection, she's connected to Nilufar, and Nilufar is a first degree connection, and Cindy will be a second degree connection because there is someone connected between us or connecting us, let's say, okay? Some people say that the second degree connection, it's very important because what happens is, like, for example, let's say I want to work for Lutherwood and I know Nilufar, okay, and I know that Cindy is the hiring manager. So I can say, hey, Nilufar, I see that you are connected to Cindy and you work together with her. Would you be able to introduce me to her? Because I would like to understand how is the hiring process, what the company is looking for, and blah, blah, blah. So she can connect me or introduce me to Cindy, and then we can have a conversation, okay? Because it's better when someone that introduce you to the other person, let's say the hiring manager, than you by yourself reaching to that person, right? Gives more credibility, let's say, or increase your chances. And also you have the third degree connection. So on LinkedIn, you can only see people up to the third level of connection. Everything beyond that, you'll not be able to see the name of the person. Okay? So what I'm saying here is basically that if you are not connected on LinkedIn, you will be very limited. The benefits that you're taking from LinkedIn will be very extremely limited, if not no benefits at all. Okay, so you have to connect with people. So I'll give you a tip, or I'll give you an example. If you connect with me on LinkedIn, I have almost 2,000 and a half connections. If you connected to me, 2,000 and a half, you're going to have 2,000 and a half second level new connections in your network, only connecting with me. So that's the importance of connecting on LinkedIn, okay? And how do we do that? Because that's a question also that people have very often. So I'll give you an example here, and you can copy, you can use this example, okay, if you want, it's fine. Let's say that I'm a HR person, okay, a talent acquisition, and I want to work for Shopify. So what I'm gonna do is I wanna expand my network. I wanna connect with people that work at Shopify because I wanna be on the loop, what's going on there and everything. So I found Samantha, and she's a talent acquisition at Shopify. Great. Okay, let's connect with Samantha. What should I do? So going back here to my profile or to LinkedIn, you see or you notice, let me just search again here, do a quick search, and I'm gonna show you. So I have Julie Mudry, okay? She's a second degree connection. She's connected to 6 people that I know that I'm connected with, but I'm not connected to her. And I want to connect it to her. So what I do, I go here, I click connect. I can either send a request to connect right away without any note, or I can add a note, and I can write whatever I want here and send an invitation to connect to Julie, okay? How should you proceed here? Should you add a note or not? Well, here's the thing. If that connection is really important for you, add a note, because there are some people on LinkedIn that they only accept an invitation to connect if you add a note. Remember back in the beginning when Peter Hawkins said people connect without any context. Without any context means, why do you want to connect with me? I can't understand, And that's the context that you are adding right there, is the note. Hello, Peter, how are you? I noticed that you own a logistic company. I'm a supply chain professional, and I'm expanding my local network, whatever. I would love to have you as my connection. Boom. Now, Peter knows why you want to connect with him, okay? And there are some people that they just accept your connection. They don't even read your message. If they see that your profile can be valuable to be in their network, they will accept your connection anyways, with or without a note. But if you want to guarantee a connection, or if you want to increase the chances of people accepting your invitation, okay, go there and add a note. And how you should write the note? Well, first you have to personalize, which means mention the name of the person. In this case, I'm mentioning here, dear Samantha. Be polite, always, of course. Be pertinent. That's what Peter said. What's the context, right? be pertinent. Why you're connecting with me? And I'm saying here, I'm also a talent acquisition professional. Oh, okay, so we belong to the same area. Be professional always. You don't want to flirt. I don't want to flirt with Samantha here. Hey, Samantha, how are you? You're so cute. It's not. That's not the purpose of LinkedIn. And be praiseful. At the end, you say, thank you very much. Have a great week. You know, look forward to have you as my connection, whatever. Be praiseful. So that person you are increased doesn't mean that the person is going to accept you as a connection, but will increase your chances for sure. Okay. All right. We are almost finishing here. We still have 15 minutes, so we are fine. So some reminders for you. Again, LinkedIn is not a museum, which means LinkedIn is a place for you to be interacting with people. LinkedIn is a place for you to connect, to join discussions, to like, to share. Okay? Don't leave LinkedIn. No, don't build your profile and leave it there. Okay? Because things are not going to happen that way. Okay? Even if you are working already, use LinkedIn to keep yourself up to date, okay, and connect to the right with the right people, because we never know. You might get a job today and other opportunities can come up and you're going to find on LinkedIn. My first job in Canada was I got this job using LinkedIn. Was a video game company. They were looking for someone that could speak Brazilian Portuguese and English, that knew about video games. And I like video games and stuff. So I applied online. I didn't hear from them. So what I did was I went to LinkedIn. I found one person that was working there. I sent an invitation and then I said, hey, I have all the qualifications you guys are looking for. Can I send my resume? Who should I send my resume to? And then this guy came back to me and say, hey, the manager is interested in having a resume. You can send your resume to this email. And then I emailed him, and then I got an interview call, a screening interview. I did the screening interview. Then they invited me for an in-person interview. I did the interview, and then they offered me the job. So what did I do there? Instead of me going through what everybody do, okay, that is basically going on Indeed and applying for the job, I took another route. Okay, so I promote myself in a different way. I use the connection that I just made and send my resume. Okay, and just to for you to not be disappointed when using LinkedIn, keep in mind that this process is like a sales process. Some people will be very glad in helping you, and other people will just ignore your requests. It's fine. Don't take it personal, okay? Some people, they just don't want to help. Okay, fine, move on and reach out to those that might help you, okay? So yeah, again, be professional, keep your profile up to date. I have many clients coming from other countries, and what happens is they still have that they are I don't know, working back in India, and they are looking for a job here. So if someone visits your profile, for them is like, you are working in India. I'm not going to hire someone that is working in India. So you have to terminate that, close that cycle so people can see that you're not currently working. Okay? So please keep your profile up to date. And if you get a new job, go there to your LinkedIn profile and put that new job, notify everybody that you got a new job, put all the descriptions, because that is your first job. Other opportunities can come down the road, and if you have a LinkedIn profile all completed, it might increase your chances. The free LinkedIn trial that I just mentioned, download the LinkedIn app, because if you don't have the habit of going online, www.linkedin.com, okay, you might have this on your phone, because if you get a message, if you get a request to connect, uh, you are going to be notified on your phone, and then you can reply right away. Okay, so don't be that person that have a LinkedIn profile and doesn't even reply to the message, or doesn't even accept the invitations that are gonna that you are receiving. That's not good at all. Okay, and there is an option now that again, this is totally optional for you, that's called open to work. So basically it's a tag that you can put on your picture. Let me show you here. So you go to your profile. Let me see if I remember doing this. Open to hiring share. Let me see here. Open to work. I think that's it. I go here. Open to work. Okay, there you go. I click here and I can have my picture, okay, this way. Let me just save here so you can see how it's gonna appear. So you see here, it's gonna appear open to work on my profile, okay? So some people, they are using this, they find that it's nice to flag, people that are hiring that you're open to work. And other people are questioning if this is a good approach, like saying that you are open to work. I don't see a problem, honestly, if you put this on your profile. But again, what I see as a problem is that many people are reaching out to others on LinkedIn, asking for a job. Like, can you give me a job? It's incredible, guys. Like, this is horrible. Don't ever do that. Again, companies are not doing you a favor. Companies are not charity. Okay, they are hiring you because you can be beneficial for their business. So if you don't build a brand, your brand, that demonstrate that you're a valuable professional, okay, they're not going to consider you. So that's the strategy that I would adopt. It's like build your brand on LinkedIn, build your profile, start to connect, start to post, start to like, start to comment on LinkedIn. Okay, go once a week. It doesn't need to be every day, but check LinkedIn with put a reminder on your phone to do that every once a week. I don't know, twice a week, because that's the way you're going to build your brand. Okay, and the other thing, connect with people, otherwise nobody will know that you exist. Okay, so sometimes some things to keep in mind, just to quotes here that I like to mention, is you never live where you are if you haven't determined where you would rather be. So for example, if you want to be an accountant in Canada, if you want to be a bookkeeper, if you want to be a marketing person, if you want to, whatever you want to be, you have to build your profile, consider that goal. Okay, that's the way I want people to see me, as an expert in this field. So I have to not only build my profile considering that, but I also, my activities on LinkedIn, they have to be related to that. Okay, so that's how I'll be relevant to other people from my field. Okay, so establish your brand and build your profile, your presence online, in a way that people will perceive you that way. Okay, and the other saying that I like to post or to share is this one here. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. And this is very interesting. Remember, I'm referring all the time that quote from Peter Hawkins, because summarizes this course here. Like, all those 51 people that were reaching out to him, they had the opportunity to reach out to him because he was reading all their profiles. They had the opportunity, but they failed because they were not prepared. Okay, so that opportunity went to the garbage can because they were not prepared. And there are some people also that they are really prepared, but they don't build the opportunity. So for example, let's say you have all the requirements to work in Canada. You have the experience, you have the education, whatever, the credentials, but you're not exposing yourself to find the opportunities, right? So if you stick only to applying for jobs on Indeed, you are limiting your opportunities, okay? So you have to find all these strategies in order to promote yourself to the job market. That's the challenge here, okay? So it's 11:55. We are ending our workshop, another one. This is the website of Lutherwood in case you want to access more resources. We have some articles, some videos there too. They are free. If you want to register as a client, you have to be either a Canadian citizen or be a convention refugee or a permanent resident of Canada. And if you want to meet, if you are a registered client, you want me to review your profile, you can reach out to me using my email or reaching out to me on my LinkedIn profile. You can send me an invitation if you want to connect there as well. Okay, do we have any other questions or are we good to end our session here?
We have feedbacks and people are thanking. And we have a question from Tasawwar Hussein. He is asking to clarify again how to make selection of sharing or not sharing option for updates.
So what to share and not share?
Yes, like
So
how to.
yeah, so what to share is things related to your field, right? So if you are saying the obvious, everybody knows, it's irrelevant. Remember, every time when you go share something on LinkedIn, think to yourself, is this relevant to my network if I share this? So if you think it's relevant, let's say it's an update in the rules of health and safety, something that you are an expert, something that is new in Canada. So you can share an article talking about that, or you can share your thoughts. You know, like someone posts something and you are sharing your thoughts in a comment. There is also an opportunity on LinkedIn that you can share an article written by you if you want. So if you go here, you can see write article, and there is a way that you can write an article and then you can publish as yourself. In this case, Carlos, I can go here and I can put a picture, headline, and then I can write an article talking about something. Let's say talking about, in my case, talking about how to use LinkedIn properly. I can write an article here. And the beautiful thing about writing an article is that once you publish, everybody in your network, they are going to receive a notification that you publish an article. So that's a good thing for you to expose your expertise, okay? So what to not share? I would avoid, as I said, things that are not professional, things that are not, that are religious stuff, political opinions and stuff. Avoid these things. Can you share a joke? If it's something related to your field, yes, it's interesting. You know, you can have some humor, but it's related to your field. So let's say that there is something common in the health and safety area that people commit a mistake, and there is a meme or whatever that you want to share. People are going to laugh, you know, and then they're related to that. Oh my God, this happens to me all the time. Okay, so that's a good way to break the ice and be a little bit more informal and show that you have also, you know, a funny side, but try to stick to your field. Remember, you are building your brand, and that's the way. What's the way that you want people to perceive you? An expert in health and safety. So that's how you have to be acting or sharing on LinkedIn. Is things related to your field. Okay. Make selection of sharing. Oh, that's okay. Um, Okay, so people saying thank you and everything. So we don't have any other questions. So I'm gonna finish here this course. In case I forget, please just send me an email, okay? But this session is being recorded, and I'm gonna send the link to all the participants so you can revisit in case you wanna check something that I mentioned here again, okay? So we are finishing the webinar, and hopefully you enjoyed. I'm going to send you also a link for a survey just to you give your feedback about this workshop. Any thoughts, any suggestions, please feel free to give, and have a nice day. Thank you also, Nilufa, for helping me today once again, and see you on LinkedIn. Bye bye, everybody.